Right, this is Patricia Finney, also known as P.F. Chisholm, and I write the Sir Robert Carey historical crime novels. And this is the historical novelist guide to clothes and money. Okay, so we're getting into the cost of those beautiful clothes. And I have to admit that I first got interested in Elizabethan times purely because of the pretty clothes. I spent ages as a child drawing lots of pictures of pretty wasp-waisted women with the bell-shaped dress and the curtains and the pretty bit in the middle, the full part, as I later found out it was called. That was all I was interested in. I was not interested in Elizabeth's foreign policy. It was the pretty clothes. So how much did those pretty clothes cost? New. I mean, there's a whole area to explore about second-hand, but new. How much did they cost new? Fantastically huge amounts. So we're going to dive into something I call the Finney Beer Standard. And the Finney Beer Standard, I probably stole it from someone. If that person was you, I apologise. The Finney Beer Standard says, right, what is the cost of a pint of beer in Elizabethan London 1590s? What is the cost of a pint of beer now? And it's a ratio. So, pint of beer in Elizabethan London cost about a penny. Pint of beer in London, well, the last time I was there, it was about £2.50. Yeah. Let us say £2.50. It's easier to work out because I've already done the sums, and to be honest with you, I'm not very good at doing the sums. So let's stick with £2.50. And if you want to do the sums later, work it out for what the actual price of beer is now, perfectly fine, do it. Let me know what it is as well, I'd be interested. So, 1 penny, then, now it's £2.50. Now we have to cope with the fact that the currency has changed. It's not pennies and pounds, it was then pounds, shillings and pence. So there were 12 pennies in a shilling, 20 shillings in a pound. That meant that there were 240 pennies in a pound. So, to get the value or the purchasing power of an Elizabethan pound, we take pound then, 250 now, and it comes to about £600. The purchasing power of an Elizabethan pound was about £600 now. And I know there's all sorts of economic arguments against this and all sorts of things that make it complicated. Let's just go with it, it's easier, okay? So about £600 now. So let's say that you're a middle class person. Let's say you're a middling gentleman, or you're a wealthy merchant, or perhaps a physician. Something reasonably well-to-do. No, not short of cash. Maybe you own quite a lot of houses, something like that, in London. Own land, that kind of thing. You decide that you want to have a new suit to show people how wealthy you are. So you go to your tailor, and the tailor makes you a lovely new suit with perhaps some decoration, maybe brocade. It's probably going to be made of fine wool, brocade lined with linen. It'll probably have some lovely buttons, and it will look very elegant. What does this elegance cost you? Well, it probably costs you around about £100, which, as we know, in modern purchasing power terms, is about £60,000. So you've spent £60,000 on a suit. So that tells you something very important, that a suit of clothes, the clothes that the Elizabethans wore, basically for them was like buying a car now. It's as if they'd gone out and plunked down £60,000 to buy a nice new car. So think about that. It shows your status, it shows your wealth, it shows your good taste. I'll do that now, especially for Americans. And it certainly your clothes used to do that in Elizabethan times. So this gives you a new insight into the wonderful story about Sir Walter Raleigh wearing a wonderfully decorated cape that's all embroidered and made of silk. Imagine the cost of that. It was probably a couple of £1,000 at least in Elizabethan times. So you can imagine how much that cost. And the legend says that the Queen was stepping and there was a puddle, and Sir Walter Raleigh laid his cloak across the puddle so that she could walk across it without getting her feet wet. It's a legend. Who knows if it happened? I kind of like to think it would, because it sounds very typical of Sir Walter Raleigh, but I have to say there's not a lot of evidence. But it might have happened. And that was the exact equivalent of Sir Walter Raleigh crashing a Ferrari into a tree to entertain the Queen. Exactly the same. So, on that note, this is Patricia Finney, also P.F. Chisholm. Very happy you're listening, you're watching this. Please scroll down, leave a comment, subscribe. It will make me very happy if you go to my website, patriciafinney.com, and sign up for my email list, and then you'll get more of these. And this is Patricia Finney saying farewell.